While we wait for everybody to come in, for the few people that are in here right now, have you guys seen the movie yet? Good. You have? Yes, sir. Okay, good. Man, I actually want to start out with Bville, man. If you feel like calling in, call in, brother. I would love to. I don't know. I can tell you got something to say. I can just feel it, you know. So feel free to call in. Yeah, I wrote down some things that I thought was interesting in the movie. One thing is the main character. Well, first of all, is the main character Fred Hampton or William O'Neill? Yo, what's up, brother? Thank you for calling, man. Bville from New York. What's up, man?
What's up, man? This is Bville calling in. What's going on? How you doing today?
Oh, I'm fantastic, brother. Fantastic, man.
Am I coming in good?
Yeah, perfect, brother.
Oh, okay. Well, one of the main things I didn't like about the movie was that doggone whoever did the audio, it was horrible on my end, man. You couldn't hear the dialogue.
Yo, you too, huh?
Yeah, it was like the dialogue was low, and every time I watched it on my home theater, so every time the music came on, I had to turn down the TV because it was rocking the whole crib.
Yo, you know how many times I told my wife, I said, hey, babe, turn it up. Hey, babe, turn it up. You know what I mean? Like, my Samsung TV go all the way up to 100. Man, that shit was at like 70-something, beloved.
Yeah, and like real quiet parts, like when he was together with his lady, you could barely hear the dialogue. It was like they didn't mix it right. That's the only real complaint I didn't have about it. But the first thing that I like to say is that I'm glad that Fred Hampton, they gave him his props because, you always hear about Eldridge and everybody else, but Fred was deep up in that too, man, because from what I was researching, he was the Panthers from L.A., they was like, yo, we're going to go about this on our own. He was the first one to bring other people and other races into the fold.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
yes.
He's getting his just desserts. It's kind of like crazy that it happened, that it had to take this long. And the brother was so young at 21, you know what I'm saying? And he's getting his just desserts now, which I think is cool, the way they laid the movie out. One thing that I didn't like about the movie, though, is that they were portrayed as cop killers. From what I've seen and what I've researched and what my parents taught me about the Black Panthers, they only fired in self-defense. They didn't just go out hunting down, looking for Jakes and shooting them down. That's the only portrayal that I had a problem with it.
I remember in L.A., I think Oakland, of course, the real Black Panthers, is the fact that they changed. The movie isn't necessarily about the Black Panther Party per se. It's about Fred, right? Chairman Fred. But I thought they could have done more to talk about the long-lasting impact that the Black Panther Party had, right? They talked about the food and stuff like that, but the Black Panther Party, they also did sickle cell testing and sickle cell I believe, I don't know about treatment, but they did a lot, you know what I mean, especially dealing with literacy as well. And they were passing out pamphlets and reading pamphlets and things of that nature. So, I was kind of debating with my wife. I was like, it wasn't necessarily about the Black Panther Party, it was about Fred Hampton. So I thought they could have focused on that as well.
Yeah, they spread it kind of thin. The movie seemed like it was more focused on the dude that was telling more than Fred Hampton.
So yes, that was my first question: is who's the actual main character? It feels like it's the snitch. He's the main character, right?
Yeah, that's the way it seemed like it was portrayed.
Yeah, because it's called Judas and the Black Messiah, right? We talking about the Judas character, you know?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Woo, I want to talk about that man. Lord have mercy.
But it was interesting. It was a good movie, and the soundtrack was tight too. I hope they make a CD out of that. It has some good music on there, man.
Damn, I haven't heard the songs yet.
Nah, they had some good music on there. It was done in the cinematography made it more legit because they really took us like back in a time.
That's right, brother. That's right. They sure did.
And we had the discussion about the actors from overseas, but I think everybody pulled their weight. It was interesting.
Yeah. So for one, I thought that I agree with you. I thought the actual audio was trash. You know,
yeah.
I thought it was trash for one because obviously me and you, I mean people don't know, but me and you, we're sound engineers and mixing and stuff like that. Oh, y'all agree that the audio was trash too? Wow, I thought it was just me. All right, yeah, man. Bville said it. Y'all said it too. All right, I felt like it was too much low end on their voices. Like I couldn't distinguish. You know what I mean? Like I felt like it should have been a high pass filter. I know that sounds geeky, but they should have raised the higher frequencies. You know what I'm saying? And then it was hard for me to understand Daniel. It was hard for me to understand every word of his. Obviously, because he has a native British accent that he's trying to change not only to an American accent, but a Midwest 1970s accent. And I felt like he wasn't doing a good job at it. That's just me, you know?
Yeah. And I didn't think they focused enough on the because see, everybody hear Jesse Jackson talk about the Rainbow Coalition, but Fred Hampton was the one that really started that.
Right.
And and I don't think that they focused enough on that. But like I said, the movie looked like it was geared more towards the dude that was snitching.
Yeah. It was centered around him. Yeah.
But overall, it was a good movie. You know what I'm saying? I from 1 to 10, I give it a 8.5.
Yeah, it was all right to me, man. It was all right. You know what I mean?
It was all right.
Like it definitely wasn't better than Malcolm X. You know what I mean?
Nah, it wasn't better than Malcolm X. Not to me either. Nah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. What other movies are on that level? Muhammad Ali.
Nah, it's another movie out that's based on this. I think it's called the Chicago 7. I think that's the name of it. You seen that?
Yeah.
That came out, I think, last year.
You ever seen that documentary called Bastards of the Party?
Nah, I never seen it. Nuh-uh.
Okay. That was about the Black Panther Party in Los Angeles and how it turned into the Bloods and the Crips, into the street organizations.
Oh, okay. Nah, I never peeped that.
Yeah. But Linnell says it didn't live up to the hype. Somebody said, where can we see it? Yeah, HBO Max. Yep. And I believe if you can get a free 30 days.
Yeah, we counting down, 29 days now.
Mr. Cliff said, I only watched the movie because of this channel right here. Wow.
And you know what else, too? I think that's something. It didn't have, like, a lot of crazy violence and cussing in it, so anybody with kids, I think they should let their kids watch that.
Yeah, you know what's very interesting? And one of the reasons why I didn't see it right away is because it was rated R. And we wanted to see if we want to watch it with our son or not. And my wife, she goes to this website that break down, like, what's actually, like you know what I mean? What makes it rated R. And based on what was said, it didn't seem like nothing. It wasn't nothing sexually explicit. It wasn't no crazy drug use and nothing like that. It was actually, like you say, it was very appropriate. I mean, not appropriate, but it was okay for certain, children. That's right, brother. That's right.
Hey, let me ask you this question. Did you hear about, have you ever heard of a guy out there where you at named General Ayazanowski, Ayazirwa?
Nah.
Okay, well, I'm going to send you this link, man, and they're saying on February 12th, this guy is he's down with the Revolutionary Black Panther Party, and somebody tried to poison him February 12th.
Whoa, is that right?
Yeah, at a Planet Fitness in Bakersfield, California.
I do know that I'm not sure about that, but I do know of the attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz. Are you familiar with him?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Let me tell you a quick story about him. When I was in high school, I got caught up into like, you know, some street stuff, you know what I mean? And my mom was trying to, you know, get me like straight, you know? And she made me watch. She made me, at that time there was a TV VCR little combo. So she put the TV, she bought me TV VCR combo, and she gave me 3 tapes. One of them was a Khalid Muhammad tape. One of them was a Malcolm X tape. Another one was a Farrakhan tape. And those 3 tapes literally did change my life, right? And so on one of the tapes, it was young Malik Shabazz. He was real young. He was in college, and he invited Khalid Muhammad to come speak. So I'm sitting there watching it, and Khalid Muhammad, man, you know, for anybody that don't know, Khalid Muhammad be dropping it hard, bro. Khalid Muhammad is very passionate, very witty, very, you know what I'm saying? He's the man. Are you familiar with Khalid, of course, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I watched the speech, and I could not believe that there was a black man speaking this powerful. I couldn't fucking believe it. And so, you know what I mean? Me being like, you know what I mean, 15 years old or whatever, that shit had an impression on me. And then under the screen, it was like, it said Khalid Muhammad at Howard University. And I was like, whoa. I was like, that's how Howard University's giving it up? So from as soon as I watched that video, I was like, I'm going to Howard, period. So it was that video that made me go to Howard, right? So I'm at Howard, right? And it's probably my junior year. Shout out to Cliff who went to Howard. That's where I met that brother. I worked at a vegan restaurant, right? Like I was like the manager there. And so I'm sitting, oh, thank you, brother. So I'm sitting there and I'm you know what I'm saying? Like at that time, at that time, the vegan food, you know what I'm saying? Like the brothers wasn't into the vegan food that much. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot, you know what I mean? A lot of, you know what I mean? Europeans, right? Anyway, so I'm up in there, you know what I'm saying? It's like a couple of brothers there, and it's mad Europeans, bro. Maybe like 3, 4, like different, it's a small store. So it's like, you know what I mean? And so anyway, it's packed, all Europeans. Malik Shabazz walked in here all by himself. All by himself, brother. He didn't walk in there with no like power to the people, nothing. He had a suit on, but the way he walked in there, the manner and the strength of which he walked in there, them Europeans left out of there like a cub seen a lion or something. Literally in less than like 5 minutes, they just took their food and left. I'm like, damn, like there was mad scared. I said, hey brother. And what happened is they left and we looked at each other and we just started laughing. We started laughing like, oh my God, can you fucking believe this? Any which way, so I told him, I said, hey brother, you're the reason why I'm here at Howard. He was like, oh man, for real? Oh man, that's what's up. And so we sat down, you know what I mean, chopped it up. Any which way, I say all that to say that Malik Zulu Shabazz, he was actually kicked out of Howard, so he couldn't go across the street because I worked like right across the street. He couldn't technically cross the street and go on campus because that would be illegal or whatever. And so time went by and he ended up becoming the leader of the new Black Panther Party. I'm not sure if So, you know, anyway, that was just a little story. Malik Zulu Shabazz, man.
My mom this kicked up my shit really, because my moms was pro-black. Me and my sisters, we be marching around the house with our barrettes on our heads and everything. My moms was crazy pro-black. My moms and my pops. So this was instilled in us since we were tykes. You know what I'm saying? Black power and love yourself, and, you know, not the militant go out and bust your gun, but just, you know, the whole black power movement was instilled in us at a young age. So, and like I said, I think it's something that, you know, it's not really all that vulgar where you can't let your kids watch it, but it the same way that you said you seen that brother and how it affected you, this movie may have effect on younger kids too.
I sure hope so, you know?
Yeah. But only, like I said, the only part I didn't like that they tried to glorify with like they were cop killers. But from, like I said, everything that I've read and been taught and seen for myself, the only time that they fired back on the police was when they were defending themselves.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and the dude that wrote it, I can't remember his name right now, but that brother, I think that he should have did a better job with that, like telling the story as close to the truth as it is. Yeah, there he goes right there. I mean, he did an excellent job, but I think they should have stuck more to the script. I think they gave them, but every time, just like when we was first initially talking about the movie last week, you know they always got to throw some salt in the game. You know what I'm saying?
That's what Cliff always talking about.
Yeah, they always got to throw salt in the game. But the overall, I said it was okay. I've seen worse.
Yeah, I've seen better. Yeah.
You know.
He said they took over the projects in New Orleans. Wow.
Bruh.
Yo, man, the Black Panther Party, man. Yo, man, much respect to the Black Panther Party, man. Like
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, man. They struck fear in the hearts of these racist, you know what I mean, Europeans, man. That's interesting because my folks from Tulsa, we learning business. Wow. They were serious, man.
Oh, yeah, they were serious. They wasn't playing. They was all about feeding the children, taking care of the women, everything that's why they broke them up. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if that would have kept going, like you said yesterday. And during that time, you had Malcolm, you had Martin Luther King, you had the Black Panther Party. If that would have stuck, and then we had the Latino brothers trying to join in, if that group would have congealed together and stayed strong, man, could you imagine how powerful they would have been?
Exactly. Man, my favorite part of the movie was when he went and met up with the Crowns. You know what I'm saying? Like, when,
yeah, that was good.
That shit was solid, man. Cause that's what we have to do, man. We have to link up with the street brothers and the brothers in the street for whatever, right? Like, they have power. Where, you know what I mean? Whether, you know what I mean, however you feel about it, you know what I mean. They got a certain amount of power, and then when you can click up, you know what I'm saying. But another thing too is like, the brothers back in the day, they was like, even the gangbangers, they was way more about it than they are today. You know what I mean? Like, back, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that you could have that today. It wouldn't be cohesion. It wouldn't be cohesion. But see, back then, when those groups like the Panthers were running around, they seen their mothers and fathers not being able to drink out the same water fountains and going through back doors at the supermarket. So they had a little fire in their chest anyway off the rip. You know what I'm saying? So they wasn't too far removed.
That's right. Because what year is this? This is what, the 60s?
60s, yeah, like 66, 67, around that area, around that time.
Yeah, Moore King made a good point. He says, I like that part because of the connection to the propaganda. Because remember at that moment, the Feddies, whatever, was throwing out propaganda. Now, that's actually a real story. I remember, shout out to all the new people out there, man. My name is Ali Salaam. This is The Affairs of Men, okay? Tonight we're discussing Judas and the Black Messiah. This is a call-in show where you can call in and be heard, okay? Right now we have B-Ville on the phone. He's a show contributor, right? That right there is a phone number for you to call in, okay? So if you want to call in and discuss it. Now, we're talking about Judas and the Black Messiah. So if you have not seen the movie, it is going to be a spoiler alert. So I'm just telling y'all that right now. Okay, so if you want to take that number down, you can call in. Make sure you follow. Okay, we talk this kind of talk every night at 7 p.m. on the West Coast, 10 p.m. on the East Coast. Okay, a lot of people like the show. I think you will too. If you give it a chance, you hit the star and you follow. All right. Anyway, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with what Moore King said. That is like the blast off for the COiNTELPRO with the cop killing narrative. That's how it all got started. You know, and I was ready to turn it off when they went in their headquarters with that gasoline, man. That had me pissed off.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That had me pissed off. I don't want to give too much away, but you know.
Nah, we talking it, man. We gave people like, especially our people, we gave them more than enough time to watch the movie, bro. Thank you, Melanie Richie.
It was like, I mean. And to be honest with you, it's the same thing that's going on today.
Exactly, brother.
But it's more overt than covert now, and I think they was more covert. Like the part when the Jakes was out there drinking a beer, talking crap to them. You know what I'm saying?
That shit pissed me off, beloved. Yeah.
Yeah. I was feeling some kind of way. I ain't even gonna lie.
I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Somebody need to roll up and pop one of them suckers, bro.
Yeah, but in my personal opinion, when I would have had old boy that was snitching, he wouldn't have got out that car. That would have been the end of his rope. If I would have had a feeling that, remember when they said hot wire in the car?
Yes.
That would have been it for him. He would have been gone after that.
Because you know what what the truth is once a suspect, always a suspect. Real shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what
exactly.
I mean?
You can't shake that stigma once it get attached to you.
Yeah.
Cause see, my next thing would have been, okay, right now you get ready to take us to the dude who taught you how to hotwire cars.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when he said somebody taught me how to do it? And I said, well, how you got the keys?
Yeah.
That's too many questions right there. That's too much open-ended stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then he flipped it with, well, at one point, he really looked like he was saying to himself, should I continue doing this or should I join with them? It was like he was torn. But when homeboy pulled out that cake, he went to the party. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing different.
Yo, my wife told me that the brother's name is Lakeith. I think that's his name. The actor, that's Judas. This brother right here. Word is that he's good friends with Daniel, I guess, or whatever. And you know, the fact when he had to poison, so basically, like, he got so deep into this character, supposedly, that he had to get some counseling done.
Really?
Yeah, man. They said it really affected him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess the whole idea of poisoning him and stuff like that. It was interesting, very interesting.
But the way I heard the story is that the police poisoned him. I don't know. I know the movie is an adaptation.
But see, this is what I always try to tell brothers. The police did poison him. You see what I'm saying? Like, by way of Lakeith, right? You see what I'm saying? It's like they both did, right? Like you understand what I'm saying? They almost say like,
what I'm saying is, the way the story came to me was that the police had somebody that worked in the place where they at put the stuff in his drink. It was like how the pimp dude came in there and gave him the drug and said, you need.
Yeah.
The way I understand the story, it didn't go like that. The Jakes went in there and had somebody put that.
My nigga, that shit came from the Jakes, though, beloved.
But yeah, that's true. That's true. It still come from the same evil ass place.
Yeah.
I know you got other people in line waiting to get on because this gonna be a hot one today. Everybody enjoy. I'll talk to you later, bro. Peace out,
peace, man. Peace. All right, so that opens up a phone line for you to call in if you like to call in. Actually, you know what I do? Sometimes I keep that number tucked for the guys that always be there. For all y'all, like the boss man, y'all got the numbers, and Cliff, y'all got the numbers. So you know what I mean? That, you know what? I'm gonna start doing that, man. That's what I'm gonna start doing. That like I'm gonna tuck the number until later, and it only like anyway. Thank you for calling CIRC7E Media, man.
What's good? It's Mr. Cliff in the building.
What up, man?
I'm gonna keep it short, but I think this is an important point. That I don't know. I wish this was something that was promoted heavily, but right after segregation being passed, or equality being passed, when quote unquote segregation was, we were considered equal. What was that, like 60?
I'm about to look at it right now.
5 or some shit like that.
Let me see. I'm literally looking up right now. 54? Brown versus Board of Education. Brown versus Board of Education was 54.
Segregation ended. I'm trying to think when MLK had something to do with
civil rights. Right? Yeah, that was like 60. You see, because it was an ongoing thing, man. Because in different places, somebody said 68.
But it's what I'm trying to say is, this time period, all this same shit was going down.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important for people to know, like, what Malcolm X was killed in 65. MLK was killed a year before it happened. Like, this is all around the same time.
That time period is crucial, huh?
Yeah. So I want y'all really in this group to listen to this, because like, there's a woman who goes around who does these racial tests. Older white woman. I can't think of her name now.
Oh yeah.
But something that moved her to start doing it was when she liked how MLK was handling himself when he wanted like equal rights, civil rights. She thought, you know, I'm a good Christian.
Somebody said Jane Elliott.
Yeah, that's her. That's her. Good luck. Good luck, Morgan. So she was saying, she really was like, yeah, he just wants, you know, he's not some radical person. They couldn't even twist him up good enough in the media to make him sound like that.
Yeah.
That's what they do with everybody else who stands up a little tougher. They try to twist it to add extra shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't really do that properly with MLK. But the day he was assassinated, she went back to, she was a substitute teacher. She went to her school. And she was so upset about it and talking about it. But then she heard other people like, about time they got his ass.
Ooh.
About time they killed that mouthy nigger. Like, that's how her peers were feeling. You know, educators at her school. And it made her feel like she had to take a, this is based on what she said, you know what I mean? Which this would made her really feel strong to take this path, because she said her father and mother taught her to be a certain type of Christian and to have certain beliefs, and this isn't what they're selling at her church. You know? And so I brought that up to say, if people out here were feeling that fucked about MLK, like, they really didn't give a fuck with Fred Hampton getting killed. They really didn't like these Black Panthers with guns, getting into it with the police. They really didn't like that shit. They really didn't like Malcolm X ass, who, you know, about 65. So when it's like we see these movies, and of course there's going to be this like back and forth with this community and the police officers who are going to take their front. But it's a time capsule, and it's attached to so many other things that were all going on at one time. And I ain't going to front, like, I was not going to watch this movie, because this type of movie that gets me pissed off.
Damn.
Like,
Uh-huh.
you know, it's coming off a lot better than I thought it would. I'm cool with it. It could have been more outlandish. I'm cool. I wish the lead was a little stronger, but this goes back to our conversation earlier this week about let's get somebody who's kind of from that area or here, or maybe less people watch it if this dude isn't Fred Hampton, because he's hot right now. Hollywood makes these people hot. You know what I mean? He picks great roles, but he didn't sound like he was from here. He just sounded weird.
Right.
Him talking, like, this shit sounded like somebody trying to imitate. Yeah, like a Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, he could have done that shit. But he sounded like just somebody trying to sound like an American. This was weird for me.
Damn.
And that's just me nitpicking, right?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I didn't like Forrest Whitaker's accent in Black Panther either. All that fucking the Black Panther. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Get an African dude to play that right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No hate Forrest Whitaker, but that shit was cringe. That part was a bit cringe for me, bro.
Big
Anyway.
cringeworthy, huh? Big cringeworthy,
so
huh?
it's not hate. Yeah, it's not hate because I'm an American Black person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Quote
that's
unquote.
right. Yeah.
But it's just, it's real.
It's
like,
real.
you gotta feel it.
You gotta feel it, brother.
I want y'all to go to YouTube and hear how Fred Hampton talked. He was a 21-year-old brother who was just talking that Yami, but like.
Yo, somebody shoot me the link. Somebody shoot me the link. We can play it.
Yeah, if I was on the phone, I'd do it.
Well, yeah. After you get done talking, though, brother. Because you talking,
but
I want to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, man. So, but when it comes to these Black Panthers and what they were trying to do, you know, they were being hated on in the media. You know, there's places where just people were just pissed that equal rights even existed,
Of
The
course.
civil rights even existed because it just jumped off.
Of course. What?
Like,
Bro.
Imagine, like, okay,
Bro,
Obama got elected.
They mad at Colin Kaepernick just for kneeling on a flag, bro. They had fucking choppers busting at police. What? Uncompromising, bro. But go ahead, though. But Kamala Harris?
Nike for 2 seconds. Travis was boycotting Nike because
Ryan. You gotta send it to my I can't the link. That doesn't mean nothing right here, brother. I guess I could copy it. Nah, send that to my the phone number right there, beloved. All right, anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, bro. Like,
thank you, though, bro.
I just think that's very important.
What's that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's very important? Highlight your point.
Understanding like the scope of hatred for American blacks from the outside, from other races, mainly white, in this country at that time. And even a lot of liberal whites who kind of had our back, they were caught in that, you know, traitor, are you a traitor mentality, like nigger lover mentality. Like, they had to pick and choose when they wanted to defend us or not, or if they gave a fuck because they don't know any black people. Or they grew up being so socialized that, like, oh, they should just be happy that they're even equal. They used to drink all the different water fountains like 5 years ago. You know what I mean? And it's a whole time period. Everybody died within these like,
hey, Manny. Yeah, Manny, definitely.
5 years.
It's all respect, man. You know, whatever your opinion is, brother.
MLK. MLK, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, like who else? Like a lot of these Panthers went out. Oh, and the dude's a good actor. I'm not trying to hate on him. I wasn't feeling that the accent he had to bring to the table.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. I thought he was an excellent actor. I just didn't like the audio, and I thought maybe his accent kind of had something to do with it. You know what I mean? But he's an amazing actor, though.
Yeah, he's a great actor, I think.
Actually,
as far as like, there's more to acting than talking.
What about his
like
love interest?
Movement.
Yeah, body language, right?
The body language, the movement,
eyes,
knowing how to pause.
Yeah.
Direction does help some of this, though.
Dub Dizzle, share it with your bros, man. Share it, brother.
But like, and I'm comparing this to shit like Denzel and Malcolm X, right? Like when you get a character who's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can really nail who the person is. So when I watch kind of the YouTube video of Fred Hampton, and I hear this guy, it's cool. You know what I mean? It's cool, but it's like it doesn't move me. That's just my 2 cents. So I'm done with that part. More so because that's just an opinion thing. But more so for all you brothers and sisters out here, everybody died around the same time. This just was right after we finally got some civil rights. And
the struggle
what
was real.
What happened is, as soon as they opened the door to us being quote-unquote respected as an equal individual, the residual effect of that old shit still needed to be conquered, and still does. And it's a struggle we're still dealing with. But that was a period. Like, of course, you're gonna want the next thing. You get civil rights. Okay, I want the next thing now. Stop fucking harassing us. You've been used to harassing us for 20, 30, fucking 40 years.
Yeah, the struggle
People
continues.
in the police force.
Yeah.
Nah, we got this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it just...
Yeah.
People thought it was like, oh, I'm sick of these motherfuckers and their rights. You know what I mean? We like abusing you.
Yep.
We gonna keep this up. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's just important for y'all to know.
So the time period, what you're saying is the time period. Like, you know what I mean? Let's kind of hone in on that, right? And like how things, what the climate was back then, right? And how like the struggle was real, you know what I mean? They had different objectives than what we have today, but the hate was way grander at a bigger scale and more overt, essentially, huh?
Exactly. And Oh, since we're talking about J. Edgar Hoover,
Ooh,
now this is where we get into conspiracy.
the devil in the room. Mm-hmm.
It's suggested that he actually had like a mysterious heritage, that he was actually one of these kind of white people who you couldn't tell or not if he had some black roots.
Really?
Like on some bluest eye, like, you know, like when I was younger, I saw a magazine article on it. And so in my head, I always thought, yeah, oh, he was like one of those pseudo light-skinned people who really hated having some black in his family. And then I heard the rumor of that a couple more times. I heard Nas rap about that once, and I was like, yeah, I heard that too. He's like, he says, J. Edgar is black.
Okay.
On one of his songs.
All right.
I was like, I heard that before. So I looked into it, and it was like his heritage is a mystery.
Yeah.
And so it, more so than this Judas that was actually in the damn Panthers, imagine a person who just hated being attached to blackness so much.
So like a self-hatred. He had like a self-hatred.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like he, what is it when you're plotted against any uprising? He had to clear all this shit out. Because something that was accurate, similar on this movie that I thought was a J. Edgar Hoover's passion about these black groups being the biggest enemy.
Yeah, so
what America was trying to do.
Yeah, I was just waiting, like, you know what I mean, to the next time to speak, and I was literally going to break that shit down because I have to assume that, you know, people don't. So the title Judas and the Black Messiah, that's actually comes from a quote. I don't know. Obviously, you probably know. Some of you guys don't know, but that came. Are you familiar with the quote where it came from?
I thought it came from him.
Yeah.
Talking about because they showed that in the movie too.
Yes.
At the very beginning.
Yes. And so when I was coming up, so I always bring this shit up again. I always talk about Noble Drew Ali, right? But like Noble Drew Ali was a black messiah, like that's in my humble opinion, right? And one of the first the first COiNTELPRO organization that actually went at an American group was Noble Drew Ali's Moorish Science Temple of America, which was in the 20s, right? It was in the 20s. And then they took that on. And then at that point, he was, as he says, the quote came from him saying, I want to prevent the rise of the next Black Messiah.
Black Messiah.
Yeah. And so that's where the title of the movie comes from. So one of the reasons why I want to focus in on that is because, like, a lot of times we say, oh, it's a spiritual war. It's a spiritual war. I'm trying to let you guys know, no, it really is a spiritual war, right? Because think of it. You have J. Edgar Hoover, who represents a hateful spirit that hates our spirit, right? Like, that spirit that J. Edgar, that racist, hate-filled spirit, filled with hate and murder and secrecy, that same spirit, it'll manifest itself in J. Edgar Hoover, it'll manifest itself in George Bush, like so many other people, right? So many other people. And so that's why, like, what I'm saying is J. Edgar Hoover's idea of taking out the next Black Messiah is not just him. That spirit goes back hundreds of years. That spirit is alive today. That spirit is alive today.
Who he was working for.
And so now think about what they're trying to do. They weren't trying to target one person in particular. They weren't trying to target just Noble Drew Ali. They wasn't trying to target just Malcolm X. They wasn't trying to target just Elijah Muhammad, just Fred Hampton, right? They were trying to target the actual spirit. Yes, the spirit. And when anywhere that spirit popped up, that spirit could pop up as Tupac. They're going to try to get rid of it. That spirit will pop up as Patrice Lumumba. They're going to try to get rid of it. That spirit going to pop up as Mosiah Garvey. They're going to try to get rid of it.
That spirit can show up in 1985 in Philadelphia.
Exactly.
Where they bombed that little community that started their own religion.
Exactly.
And was eating natural food.
Pull a Jew. Thanks for the follow.
I'm not going to romanticize them. They was doing some wildness a little bit. but they were trying to do something different. And that's another documentary you can watch about the Philly bombing, Let It Burn.
That was the Us. I think they were called The Move. They were The Move in Philly. Yeah.
Something like that. The Move.
That spirit was in Tulsa. Exactly. So it lets you know it's a spiritual war, right? And so they're on the hunt. And so he basically said it. I am on the hunt to prevent the rise of the next black messiah. We have to get rid of this spirit before it gets big. Why? Because they feel inferior. They feel like it's a threat to them. Us rising up is a threat to them. I don't know how, whatever. It's an energy. Exactly. So I have here, it says the FBI sets goals for the COiNTELPRO. So this was anyway, before I get on, I'll let you finish, Cliff. And I'll talk about it when you get off the phone.
Nah, but yeah, but you're pretty much just speaking on exactly what I was going, and you put it nice in a nice little box. Because I was just going to mention, like, it's nonstop. This should keep going.
That's right.
If BLM gets too organized and a couple other things change, that would be them too. If some other organization steps up and is like, we ain't taking this shit, we gonna police our own shit, and the skin color isn't right, they ain't feeling it. You know what I mean? There are groups in America that are also white that have the same issue, not exactly the same, but there's also a thing about rights and doing things a certain way and control. And so, I mean, it's out here. It's still out here.
Yep.
So we try to be solution-minded as a nation, and let's hope, more things change. But don't think for a second like it's just everything's technically over. It just stopped. A lot of these people are still alive.
Yeah.
A lot of these people are still alive.
Damn.
60, like, if there's people that are like 60, 70 years old, they was around for this.
Man, so
leaders of our countries, who were their parents rooting for or against, and who planted that seed into them? They're still like, this isn't but so far ago.
Yeah, so talk to your mama, talk to your grandmama, like they still got them stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, man, thanks for the call, brother.
Hey, it's nothing. I'm out.
All right, peace, man. All right, so now. Excellent call. All right, so remember that spirit that they're looking like, the spirit of Tupac, the spirit of Fred Hampton, the spirit of Messiah Garvey, the spirit of Noble Drew Ali, the spirit of anyone, Tupac Shakur. I don't know if I named him or not, but you know what? One thing that all of them brothers, beautiful brothers, had, they were fearless. Okay? Fearless. They weren't like, and that's one of the things that I know it's very difficult to impress but in Islam, one of the things that they had to do, real shit, one of the things they had to do in the slave master, the one thing he had to take away our drum. He realized that the drum would give us a whole nother bop. The drum would give us a whole nother energy. The drum was like our way to communicate. The drum it's like we summon spirits, and when it's time to get it cracking, like that drum, you know what I mean? So that's the one thing they did. They took the drum from us. Another thing they did was they took Islam from us, okay? Now, not necessarily because Islam is a great religion or shit like that, but there is a tenet in Islam that they had to get rid of, and it's fearlessness. It's like, look, I'm telling you, when they had slave revolts, whether it was on the boat, whether it was in the Caribbean, whether it's in America, it always boiled down to one of the leaders being a Muslim and saying, we ain't going for this. I'd rather die. I'd rather die than live like this. That's the fearless spirit that they had to get rid of. They had to get rid of that spirit of, like, because you got to think of it, man. If you see, one of the things that I like what Fred Hampton said was he told his wife, he goes, he was like, for me to lead the people, I had to give up my life already. I forget how he said it. Y'all remember that point in the movie where he mentioned something like, yo, I already gave up my life, right? He said, I gave my life up for the people. You have to, because if you're going to take that lead, right, and you're going to take that stand, you can't be fearful of some years in jail. You can't be fearful of getting popped. You can't. Matter of fact, remember when he met up with the brother from Crowns, right? He met up with the brother from Crowns, right? And they go, yeah. So what's gonna happen? What happened to Martin Luther King? What happened to Malcolm X? He said the same thing that's gonna happen to both of us. The same thing that's gonna happen to both of us. Because you know why? You're gonna go out anyway. You're gonna go out anyway. What they say? I'd rather, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather die like a king than live like a coward. You know what I'm saying? Like, make your death worth something. If you make your death worth something, then no matter no fear tactic that these devils try to use, it won't work. It won't work. You know what I'm saying? This man, Tupac was fearless. He did so much. But when you see now, and then look at Judas. Judas, he was scared to do it. He was scared to do 5 years, my nigga. Judas was scared to do 5 years. That's it, right? He was faced the Lakeith guy. He was faced with a 5-year bid. Nigga, Fred Hampton took that shit and smiled, bro. He did a 5-year, a nickel. He did a nickel for stealing ice cream, bro. He stood tall for that. One man, fearful, right? Fearful, right? And then guess what he did? He took down the whole Black Panther Party in Chicago. All because he didn't want to do 5 years of a crime he actually committed. My nigga, you actually committed the crime. Right? What kind of shit is that? You committed the crime. You know what I'm saying? When you know what I'm saying? It's in front of you. And instead of doing the time like a straight G, you rather take down the Black Panther Party that's providing for the kids and doing all of this for our women. Like what's going on? How selfish are we? How selfish are we? What are we doing? Don't forget the 6 months. He said, don't forget the 6 months. So I'm saying, so one of the things is like, yo, man, that whole fearful shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's easier said than done, of course, because everybody has a natural desire to preserve their life. But if you make your life, if you live a noble life and you're willing to like go out for something reputable, then it's only so much they can get on you, man. That's all I'm trying to say. All right. So now he said, I want to stop the rise of the next Black Messiah. That's letting you know I'm a devil and I'm waiting for that godly, fearful spirit to come out, and I'm going to survey everything. And I'm on it. All right, so that created the precipice for what they call COiNTELPRO. COiNTELPRO is a slang mismatch of a word called counter intelligence program, right? You put it all together, instead of saying counterintelligence program, they call it COiNTELPRO. Co, me and you, intel, information, program, COiNTELPRO. All right. So this is the FBI says goals for the COiNTELPRO. Now, this COiNTELPRO eventually, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, very, very powerful organization created by, you're very welcome, man. All right. The FBI said goals for the COiNTELPRO. Under Director J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI's COiNTELPRO was aimed at investigating and disrupting dissident political groups within the United States. In the 1960s, COiNTELPRO targets frequently included civil rights activists, both those who espouse nonviolence, like Martin Luther King, and those that Hoover referred to as Black nationalist hate groups. First of all, we don't hate nobody, or none of them. They didn't hate nobody. They didn't hate nobody. But like, listen, man, if you're gonna come into our community police and beat our children and hit us upside the head and we fight back, how is that a hate group? I'm just defending myself, right? Like the Black Panther parties. This document outlines the program's goals in attempting to limit the effectiveness of such groups. In practice, the FBI used infiltration, legal harassment, disinformation, and sometimes illegal, you mean illegal, intimidation and violence against King, the Panthers, and other Black activist groups. All right, here we go. So you guys can see. Goals. For maximum effectiveness, the counterintelligence program was to prevent wasted effort. Long-ranging goals are being set. All right. It says, prevent the coalition of militant Black nationalist groups. In unity, there is, There in unity there is strength. This is what the devils are saying. In unity there is strength. A truism that is no less valid for all triteness. An effective coalition of black nationalists. An effective coalition of black nationalists might be the first step towards a Mau Mau, a black revolutionary army in America, the beginning of a true black revolution. Number 2, prevent the rise of a Messiah. And there it is. That's where the title comes from. Right there. The step number 2 of the COiNTELPRO. Prevent the rise of a Messiah who could unify, electrify the militant black nationalist movement. Malcolm X might have been such a quote-unquote Messiah. He is the martyr. Remember that word we just talked about, martyr. Uh-oh, what happened here? All right. You see that? Martyr, willing to give his life. He was, black nationalist, Malcolm X might have been such a Messiah. He is the martyr of the movement today, back then. Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, and Elijah Muhammad. May Allah be pleased with all of these brothers. All, especially our Muslim brothers, all aspire to this position. Elijah Muhammad is less of a threat because of his age. Whoa. So that they know, fear, they said a martyr. What they said? They said a martyr, age, being a charismatic leader. Elijah is less of a threat because of his age. King could be a very real contender for this position should he abandon his supposed obedience to white liberal doctrines. Oh, because he was Christian, essentially because they're not saying that, but essentially because he was Christian, he wasn't that much of a threat, right? That's essentially what they're saying, right? If he was a Muslim, it would be way different. And embrace black nationalism. Carmichael has a necessary charisma to be a real threat in this way. Wow. Number 3, prevent violence on the part of black nationalist groups. This is the primary importance and is, of course, a goal of our investigative activity and should be the goal of the counterintelligence program to pinpoint potential troublemakers and neutralize them before they exercise their potential for violence. Number 4, prevent militant black nationalist groups and leaders from gaining respectability. Yo! So, I'm telling you, so the rise of the black Messiah, right? You know what I'm saying? We're putting all this together. They want to prevent the fact that you become respectable by discrediting them to 3 separate segments of the community. Wow, they pinpointed it. There's 3 segments. The goal of discrediting black nationalists must be handled tactically in 3 ways. You must discredit those groups and individuals first to the responsible Negro community. Wow. Number 1, the responsible Negro community. Wow. Number 2, second, they must be discredited to the white community. Both the responsible community and the quote-unquote liberals who have vestiges of sympathy for militant black nationalists. Whoa, this is blowing my mind. Number 3, that they must discredit. Third, these groups must be discredited in the eyes of Negro radicals who are the followers of these movements. The last area requires entirely different tactics from the first 2. Publicity about violent tendencies and radical statements merely enhances black nationalists to the group and adds a respectability in a different way. And number 5, the final goal of COiNTELPRO should be to prevent the long-range growth of militant black organizations, especially among the youth. Specific tactics to prevent these groups from converting young people must be developed. Wow. That was created by J. Edgar Hoover. That is a government document. The FBI says goals for the COiNTELPRO, a resource for teachers, was cited in this document. The source came from Deborah Menkenart, putting the movement back into civil rights teaching in 2004. Get a bar. Get a bar. So when they say so when you see that, yeah, by isolating the so-called militants, you negate their influence. Exactly, brother. Exactly, brother. Damn, bro. So yeah, so you see, I actually thought the movie was gonna be a little more dealing with the COiNTELPRO. You know what I mean? I thought it was. You know what I mean? But whatever, it's still a good movie, man. Man. So you guys call in right now. Go ahead, I'll take a phone call. Take a phone call before I go to my next pinpoint. Phone numbers is wide open. Tell me, how do you feel about this movie? See, for all the new people, like, we've been waiting to talk about this movie. So it's almost like a study group. Like, the goal was to watch the movie this weekend so we could talk about it today, which is Tuesday. And I would imagine a lot of us did. So like, we're coming here with the sole intent to talk about a movie we all saw. There we go. Thank you for calling CIRC7E Media, man. What is your name and where are you from, man?
Peace of the lives. Moorish King checking in from Atlanta, my G.
That's right, brother.
Peace to the family, to the group. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to everybody. I definitely want to specifically say that the movie it's pros and cons with it. I definitely agree with you guys. Like, it wasn't like the best movie, but it wasn't bad either.
That's right.
I think visually it was a good movie. And I think with like the amount of time they had, I think they get it. Like, I guess as far as just like movies go, you know what I'm saying, with black people, like, I think they just did a good job in general, like production wise and all that stuff. But I could definitely, you know what I'm saying, homie, he did a good job, but like, you could tell he wasn't like from Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
You talk about the main character, the Daniel Kaluuya, who played Fred Hampton Jr. Fred Hampton, excuse me.
Yeah, the brother who played Chairman Fred, he did do a good job on most parts, except I guess like the accent part. But I think everybody did a good job as far as the actors. But specifically, I definitely think like my favorite part, the most significant part of the movie actually was like when excuse my French, that bitch ass nigga Hoover.
Yeah.
He was talking to the dude who was running. You know what I'm saying? The dude who had the informant. The dude who was the connection in the feds.
Yeah. I don't even remember his name.
Like
the Irish looking white boy.
Too.
Yeah,
I forget his name too. But his you know, they was all in the office or whatever.
He a bitch ass nigga too.
And he was what did he say to son? He was like, how's your daughter? How's your kids? Or whatever. That was like, you know, why are we talking about my kids?
That's right.
He was like, Hoover asked him, he was like, you know, what are you going to do if she brings home a black dude? You know
right.
So I really just want to impart, like, you know what I'm saying, you know, we appreciate our sisters and everything, but just me specifically to the black men in this chat. Like, just think about that shit, bro. Like, think about exactly what he was implying. You know what I'm saying?
What was he implying?
Like, what are you going to do?
What was he implying, man?
I mean, again, at that time, you know, we were still, for a good amount, of segregated, but it was trending to what's happening now as far as
Roy Mitchell.
Everybody mixing together.
That European was named Roy Mitchell.
Roy Mitchell, right. So, yeah, like, he was basically saying, like, would you, you know, how are you going to feel when these people are in power and popular?
Right.
And you know, because that, you know, I don't think I need to say it, but we're black. Like you said, our spirit is valuable. Like, we bring value physically, emotionally, spiritually, any way you can add value to something, that is us. You know what I mean? So he was basically telling them, like, so, you know, if we allow this black messiah to be created, we're not going to be in power. And
They felt threatened.
Right, and your daughter is going to be mating with the dominant male species, which would be the black man.
Wow.
And then add in all the other, Anglo-Saxon anxiety of them not being able to, them getting erased by us, just genetically. I mean, so just controlling that whole dynamic of white supremacy, bro. Like, I think that's the most significant, thing. And it's like really significant based off of you reading those points from COiNTELPRO.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's basically breaking down how we're divided now if you actually read that shit. Like, that shit worked to perfection. Because the young is against the old, the men are against the women, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And everybody points to, like, the Willie, I've seen people bring up the Willie Lynch thing, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, at this age, I'm still trying to research that too, because, some people say it's a myth, some people say it's real, you know what I mean? But what I do know is, the family structure of us being with a man and a woman and child is scary to the feds, and that's significant. And I just think us as black men, we should pay more attention to that part of the movie specifically.
Wow.
They specifically attacked our family structure, bro. Like, that shit is important, you know what I'm saying? And also the fact that, you know what I'm saying, something I learned from the movie, that a lot of the Panthers, a lot of the organization was built by women. You know what I'm saying? So it was actually highly comprised of women in a lot of the sex. Like,
that's right, brother.
Yeah, it was just dope. Just shout out to black women, and I just think we need to just focus more on how we teach our children and like, what legacy we want to leave. You know what I mean? But
yeah, bro.
Dope.
You making some good points, man. Man, bro. He placed the love of his people over self-preservation. Yes, brother. Good point, Manny. Bro, hey, More King, you making up some good points, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. I'm definitely a movie person, so I could talk about this type of shit all day.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm not gonna hold you, you know what I mean? But fat shouts out to everybody, fat shouts out to you, you know what I mean? Y'all stay safe out here.
All right, peace, bro. All right, so this right here is, hold on. I want to read this before I take the next phone call. You can call in when the next time I pop up the number, you guys call in, okay? I want to read this part right here. Hold on 1 second. This is the brother Lakeith. The brother who played the main character, the brother who played Judas. Excuse me. All right, so this is a quote, okay? This is him speaking to ABC. I forget who he's speaking to. He goes, this is Lakeith talking about the movie he was in, right? Obviously, this movie here. In the scene where I had to poison him, Chairman Fred, a lot of it didn't end up making it to the final cut. But we shot me mixing the poison in with the Kool-Aid, and I had to go through all of the motions over and over again, he said. With somebody like Daniel, who I respect as a human and as an artist, and as Fred Hampton, I felt like I was actually poisoning Chairman Fred Hampton. You see, that's one of the reasons why you have to, you see, everybody says, oh, it don't matter. No. That's why you have to, that's why when you cast a Moorish American, he can give you the vibe for a so-called black man in America. He can give it to you. He can give it to you because, like he internalized exactly. Like, yo, sure, you can get a man from Britain. They were like, oh, but, you know, all of my Facebook, they were like, this is no big deal, man. That's called acting. And that's like, all right, I see y'all. But at the end of the day, man, listen, man, if you want, I thought the brother was a good actor. And matter of fact, he felt so deeply, it affected him. That's how you know, like, he's going to be able to bring good acting skills to I thought he was a good actor for that one. Mad shaky, like, you know what I mean? You could tell he was going back and forth in his head. Remember that one time when he rolled up And then nigga had a big ass shotgun. He was like, whoa. It was like, yo, man, it's a snitch. And he was like, for real? And he was like, man, what happened? He was like, he's scared. Oh, man, they boiled water and they threw it on the old boy. He was like, oh, man, damn. You could tell he was like, his eyes was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he was struggling, right? And then he goes, and then he put extras on it. You know when niggas be putting extras on it? He started putting extras on it like, man, if I was there, nigga, and we all know that guy. We know that guy. Man, if I was there, though, oh, man, if I was there, though, right? And so I was like, I thought that was a great scene. And you can see it in his eyes, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, he said, it felt like I was actually poisoning Chairman Fred, says the co-star Dominique Fishback. He says co-star Dominique Fishback told him that sometimes your body doesn't always differentiate the experience from your imagination. So sometimes your body thinks that it is real. I would say your subconscious mind. Everything you're putting it through, he explained. It's no wonder I've been feeling so stressed out and having panic attacks. I realized going forward, before I step into something like that again, maybe I need a therapist. He later confirmed that he secured therapists that year, just in time for Judas and the Black Messiah's delayed release. Damn, bro. The brother felt it, man. He felt it, bro. He said, I felt like I was actually poisoning Chairman Fred. How despicable. Trey's wife, thank you for the follow. How despicable of a human being, man. Despicable, man. Like, what's crazy is this guy acted like he did it. But what about the guy that actually did it? You saw what happened at the end of the movie? Y'all read what happened at the end of the movie? What old boy did to himself? He did the rum nitty, right? Suicide, I'll do the job. You decide. Right? Nigga did the rum nitty. Y'all saw that part at the end? I saw that eyes on the prize. Check out what Denzel said about Malcolm. Yo, I forgot where I got this shirt, beloved. Tristan Thompson. I forgot where I got this shirt, man. I think I got this joint on eBay or something. I think I put Moorish head in eBay and this shit popped up. Thanks, man. I wish I sold it. I tell you, CIRC7EMedia.com. Anyway, so that's that. Yeah. So all right, phone number. You guys call in. I just want to get that out, man. It's a good show, y'all. I love the flow. Somebody call in, tell me how you feel, man. Talk, man. Discuss, man. That's why we here. You know what I'm saying? That's why we here, man. We discussing it. What's going on? Now, let's see. Now, I don't want to get too far gone, but anyway, phone numbers is wide open. If you're new here, make sure you follow. Live on Caffeine. Shout out to everybody. We were waiting for this opportunity to talk about the movie. It was, you know what I mean? So if you have not seen the movie, it will be a spoiler alert. Okay? Spoiler. All right. So we're discussing this movie, Judas and the Black Messiah. So if you like to call in, tell me how you feel, man. Especially how did it relate? You know what I'm saying? Was there any? Thank you, T. Watts. Is there anything in there that you related to? Is there anything in there that was significant to you? Was there any critiques that you have of it? Whether you agree or disagree. You know what I'm saying? All right. I thought it was interesting. About the whole idea of him uniting other races, right? Obviously, when you're making a movie, especially like in America to be a major picture, you obviously don't want to isolate nationalities and stuff like that, right? So you do want to make them feel included. So I'm not sure how, I'm not sure about, I don't know much about Chairman Fred, you know what I'm saying? That's just Chicago, you know what I mean? I didn't really study much about that. But I was just wondering, like, he mobbed up into the Confederate joint, remember? I see, that's what I don't know, Boss Man. Boss Man says, was that part true, though? And I don't know. I would assume it was, but maybe a little embellished. Does anybody know? Anybody out there know? Anybody from Chicago? Anybody out there familiar with the Panther Party out there? I'm sure that story was true. I'm sure it was. They wouldn't just throw it in there. But wasn't it mad interesting? Yeah, how factual? That's a good question. It's like, how factual was it? You know what I mean? How factual was it?
Fred, where does the Black Panther Party...
So this right here is the actual brother Fred Hampton speaking right here. Shout out to Ryan. I believe that part was accurate. Fred Hampton Jr. worked closely with the producer.
Panther Party stand concerning the Weathermen, the SDS.
I'm waiting for somebody to call in.
Way back from the SDS and the Weathermen, because we believe that the Weathermen action, there's two actions. There's rim to the Weathermen.
Wait a minute. He was only 21 years old? Like, so the brother passed away at the age of 21. So at this age, he's younger than 21. He looked like a 30-year-old man. He looked like a 30-year-old man right here. Yo, man, it was more mature back in them days, man. You know what I mean? It was a totally different swag, bro. It was a totally different swag, man. This man is 21 years old, man. He did what he did, bro. Everybody said had to be. He did what he did and was out of here by the age of 21, bro.